Imagine this. You're trying to finish something important. A deadline is looming. Your heart is racing. Your thoughts are scattered. You can't concentrate. And no matter how hard you try, your brain just won't cooperate. You tell yourself to push through, to focus. But the more you try, the worse it gets. You forget simple things. You lose track of what you were doing. Your mind spins in circles, and clarity feels like a distant memory. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. What you're experiencing is stress hijacking your brain. And it's not just in your head. Stress, especially chronic stress, literally changes the way your brain functions. It reshapes your memory, disrupts your emotions, shrinks your capacity to think clearly, and can even rewire the way you see the world. Today, we're going to unpack exactly how that happens, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Let's start with what stress actually is. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's a wild animal, a traffic jam, or an angry email, it activates the stress response system. This involves a cascade of signals from the hypothalamus to the pituitary gland, and finally to the adrenal glands, which release cortisol, the main stress hormone. In small doses, this system is incredibly useful. It helps you run faster, focus, sharper, and survive dangerous situations. But the problem is, your brain doesn't distinguish between real physical threats and psychological ones. To your nervous system, a missed deadline or financial worry triggers the same system as if you were being chased by a predator. Now imagine that system staying on for days, weeks, or even months. That's chronic stress, and it's a silent saboteur. Over time, high cortisol levels begin to damage your brain, especially in three critical areas: the hippocampus, the amygdala, and the prefrontal cortex. The hippocampus is your memory center. It helps you learn, retain, and retrieve information. Chronic stress literally shrinks this region. Studies show that people under long-term stress often experience memory problems, not because they're forgetful, but because their brain's ability to encode and retrieve information is impaired. Next, the amygdala. This part of your brain processes fear and emotion. Under stress, it becomes hyperactive. It grows in size and influence. That's why when you're chronically stressed, you may feel anxious, reactive, or emotionally unstable. Your amygdala is sounding the alarm constantly, and it overwhelms rational thinking. And then there's the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, impulse control, and clear thinking. Chronic stress suppresses this area. It's like turning down the volume on your executive functions. That's why you can't concentrate. That's why you feel foggy, indecisive, or impulsive under pressure. So what you're experiencing during stress isn't just emotional, it's deeply neurological. It's chemistry and circuitry. It's your brain shifting into survival mode. And here's something even more alarming. The longer this continues, the more your brain adapts to stress. That means your default state becomes one of hypervigilance, fear, and distraction. The neural pathways that handle threat detection grow stronger, while those that manage clarity, calm, and focus begin to wither. It's not that you're broken, it's that your brain is trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. But here's the good news. This process can be reversed. Because of a phenomenon called neuroplasticity, your brain can rewire itself. Even if you've been stuck in chronic stress for years, it's possible to rebuild healthier patterns. But it requires more than just willpower. It requires understanding, intention, and practice. So how do you start? First, awareness. Begin to notice when your body and brain are entering stress mode. Maybe your jaw tightens. Maybe your heart beats faster. Maybe your thoughts start racing. Don't judge it, just observe it. This simple act of noticing can re-engage your prefrontal cortex and interrupt the automatic stress loop. Second, breathing. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Deep, slow breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for calming you down. Just a few minutes of conscious breathing can shift your brain's chemistry and restore clarity. Third, move your body. Physical movement helps burn off excess cortisol and increases endorphins. You don't need a full workout. Just stand, stretch, walk around. Movement is medicine for a stressed brain. Fourth, limit your input. The modern world bombards us with constant stimulation, notifications, emails, bad news. Every time your brain is interrupted, it re-engages the stress system. Create space. Protect your attention. Give your mind time to recover. Fifth, prioritize sleep. This is when your brain repairs itself. Without proper sleep, cortisol stays elevated, and cognitive function declines. Protect your rest like it's sacred, because it is. And finally, reconnect. Social support is a buffer against stress. Talk to someone. Share what you're going through. Human connection releases oxytocin, which naturally lowers cortisol and soothes the brain. These aren't just nice habits. They're neurological interventions. They help you rebuild the structures of your brain that stress has eroded. Every time you make one of these choices, you're not just coping, you're rewiring. Let me leave you with this. You are not failing because you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed because your brain has been operating in survival mode for too long. But the brain is not fixed. It's fluid, adaptable, resilient. And so are you. You can reclaim your clarity. You can restore your focus. You can reprogram your mind away from the chaos and back toward calm. It starts by recognizing that stress is not just something that happens to you. It's something your brain responds to, and something you can learn to navigate. Not overnight, but step by step, with patience, with awareness, and with intention. So the next time you feel like your brain is betraying you, remember, it's not breaking down. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you. But now, you get to teach it a new way to live.